A battle of unbeatens takes place at Shields Field Friday night as Bishop Dwenger takes on Homestead.
It's a tremendous challenge. I mean, they're a very gifted team in a lot of areas, and we expect a tremendously hard-fought football game.
It's like preparing for our state game last year. You know, they can score a lot of points, they can move the ball, they play sound defense. Their special teams are difficult to prepare for, so we're approaching it from a standpoint that we're underdogs, and you know, we're gonna show up Friday, and we're gonna see where we're at.
The Spartans are coming off a 51-0 win against Bishop Luers, a team that had won back-to-back sectional championships coming into this year. The win helped Homestead avenge a last-second loss to Luers last year.
Last year left a bad taste in our mouth, especially with the last-second field goal. We kind of had a chip on our shoulder going into the game, and we knew that we had to take care of business. So we came out here in front of our home crowd and did what we knew how to do, and had a really good game against them. So we're going to take that and hopefully take the momentum and moving into the next week and get ready for this next game.
The Saints are coming off a 54-6 win over Southside, a game where they rushed for over 300 yards and 6 touchdowns as a team.
Great performance from everyone, from the starters to the reserves. Proud of everyone how they played. It's been a great start to the season. Last week was also great.
Dwenger has used several backs in their running game. Louis Tipman is the leading rusher with over 200 yards, while Patrick Finley and Devin Tipman have combined for over 300 yards. In the passing game, quarterback Brendan Lytle has completed 66% of his passes for over 450 yards and 6 touchdowns.
It's been going pretty well. It's nice that we get a bunch of guys rotating, you know, make sure everyone's nice and fresh for defense and keep people fresh on offense.
Homestead has been productive on offense as well. Luke Goody has thrown for over 600 yards, getting several different receivers involved. Griffin Little, Jake Archbold, Sam Scavo, and Cam Rogers each have over 100 receiving yards in 3 games. And Braden Hardwick has led the way in the ground game with over 400 yards.
We can do pretty much anything with Jake Arch, Griffin Little, and Goody. Like, we're just a threat everywhere, running and passing, so I think we can do really well against their defense.
All that offensive production could pose a challenge for both defenses, but both the Spartans and the Saints have given up just 12 points apiece in the first 3 weeks. To add to that, both defenses have several playmakers, including Cam Rogers and Nick Martin for Homestead, as well as Hayden Ellinger and Patrick Finley for Dwenger. If you were to ask both Coach Zolman and Coach Garrett, they both would attribute their defensive success to largely the same thing.
It's all the kids. They want to get to the football. They want to play great defense, and they have a certain expectation of their level of play, and they don't accept anything other than that. And so they've done a great job. So it's been all the kids.
We got coachable kids. We got some guys over there that had some experience from last year. The new guys that have stepped in, they're coachable. Obviously, Coach Kolkman and our defensive staff, they do a tremendous job. So they're willing to put we over me, which is a great part of the philosophy that we use on defense. They're not worried about stats. It's about doing their job and fulfilling their responsibilities. And it's been a credit to all of them that we've been able to do that.
Dwenger running back Louis Tipman has emerged as a key playmaker this year. He played mostly JV last year, and this year he leads the Saints with over 200 rushing yards.
The kid's been the hardest worker I've known since we were little. I've known him since we were little, and he's always worked hard, and this year he finally got his chance to shine, and I think he took advantage of it.
He's a little smaller, so he played a lot of JV last year. He even got in last year some. He's been running the ball really well this year. A little cousin of mine, really proud of him. I love to see him out there on the field as a varsity player this year.
One player who has emerged this year for Homestead is sophomore nose guard Matt Miller. He has 4 sacks on the season and leads the Spartans in that category.
Matt's been great. He's done his job well in our defense, and he's ate up some blocks. He's done the unselfish thing, but he's also had some time to shine and get those sacks that everybody sees on Friday night.
He worked really hard in the offseason in the weight room and out here on the field. He's a young guy, but he sure as heck doesn't play like it, and it's really good to have him in front of us as linebackers and see what he can do, and he helps us out a lot.
Dwenger won last year's game 23-10, something that Homestead has reminded themselves of this week. They showed the score of that game on the scoreboard at practice.
We wanted to do that. It was Jake Arch's idea because we were all pretty upset that we lost to him, so we wanted to put it up there, have it burden our chest a little bit more, get us more motivated to come out there this week and win. Though
the Saints won last year's game, they have plenty of reason to be motivated for this year's game.
I think the fact that we're going into the game as an underdog is motivational. We certainly looked at the film from last year. They were up 10-3 at one point, so we've got a war ahead of us, and we highly respect them. We're preparing as if it's a championship game, and we're going to see how things play out on Friday night.
This is Thad Goff for Summit City Sports. The Spartans and the Saints kick off at 7 p.m. at Shields Field.
He looks to throw, goes deep over the middle. He's got his man, and he's off to the races. They can't catch him, and it's a touchdown. Griffin Little.
Lytle's pass, caught inside the 20. Ooh, look at that move. Patrick O'Keefe to the house. Give that man 6 points. My goodness, what a move by O'Keefe.
It's Mix on the beat.